Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to a new episode of the League of Myths series. Please don't forget to throw in a like if you do end up enjoying this episode. But going straight into the first myth, this one submitted by Billy. Can champion clones like Shackles or LeBlanc's proc Braum's passive ability? So the first one we decided to test was with LeBlanc, and we tested this on the double golems with just one remaining. As the golem made LeBlanc proc her passive, I put my passive on the golem, the LeBlanc attacks that same golem with her passive clone, but you can see it does not proc Braum's passive. The second scenario does involve Shaco, and this time he pops his ultimate, goes for the golem that I threw my Q on to proc my passive. And even though I thought this one would honestly work since the Shaco clone does deal damage, it unfortunately does not proc Braum's passive either. And just for fun and more of a why not, we decided to test this with Shaco's box as well. The exact same testing principles are applied, except this time I put my passive on both golems just in case, but the box, regardless, does not proc the passive either. The second myth states, which side in Summoner's Rift will win if the minions are left alone to fight? So I played Zed for this game, purposely playing a champion that has no effect on anything around the map. And as I'm kind of chilling in the base, letting the minions do their thing, it's a back and forth battle for quite some time, and you can see at the bottom, it takes about 32 minutes for the game to fully finish with just the minions. So far the top side seems to be the most dominant side out of the three, with the middle lane coming in second. So this obviously can suggest that the top lane is slightly more in favor for the blue side, while the bottom lane seems to be more in favor for the purple team. You can see the minions in the mid and top lane are simply going straight to the nexus, absolutely demolishing everything in sight, while poor old bottom lane on the blue side is having much trouble to try and get past even the halfway point. But at the end of the game, if the minions are left alone, the blue side does win. The third myth submitted by Fayaz on Twitter. How does Yorick ult work with Kog'Maw and Karthus passive? So Kog'Maw and Karthus both have a passive that only activates upon their death, and gives them some sort of control over that passive state as well. And testing it first with Kog'Maw passive, as he walked into the fountain with my ultimate on him, the first thing that happened was my ultimate procced and he took the form of my ghost. And as he dies or the timer simply runs out on my ultimate, then his passive activates. But does this work any differently on Karthus? With the exact same testing principles applied, I put my ultimate on Karthus, he walks into the laser, gets demolished in a matter of seconds, my ultimate procs and he takes the form of the ghost, walks back in, dies, and this time as well, his passive procs. So Yorick ultimate has precedence over their passive. The final myth for this episode submitted by Rennie. If you teleport to a shroom or Shaco box and someone steps on it, what happens? So the reason this myth is somewhat interesting is because teleport, when used on minions or wards, will place that minion or ward in an invulnerable state, which here you can see the Shaco was unable to kill the ward as I was still teleporting onto it. So the first thing we will check out is if the interaction is the same on a Shaco box. As I walk into it and proc the Shaco box and it of course is attacking me, it is invulnerable, and I am completely unable to kill it. The next thing to test is Teemo's shroom. As I'm about to walk onto the shroom, the Teemo teleports right onto it, but this time the shroom activates and I take the poison. But the cool thing is the teleport from Teemo does not cancel, and he continues to teleport on the what is now non-existent shroom. Before I end this off, we decided to test one more thing. If someone teleports on the Shaco box within its last seconds of being alive while attacking, will it postpone its time? But the answer is no, and it will simply die out, but the teleport will still go through. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of League of Myths. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to throw in a like or maybe share it with your friends. You can also submit your own myth for a chance to be featured in the next episode. You can either write a myth underneath this video in the comment section, tweet at me at RedMercyLOL, or on my Facebook fan page, also RedMercyLOL. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you next time. Peace!